We're at Poston Hill campsite this weekend and we're not currently plugged into electric hookup. However, I bought the EcoFlow Delta 2 Max along and I'm just wondering, is it actually practical for our motorhome? And most importantly, can you actually run the motorhome from it? Let's find out. So for the moment, I've stored it underneath the seat here and it just fits in. The problem being the length actually, because it needs to be tilted. But let me get that out and I need to reposition it somewhere so it has plenty of ventilation and I can plug it into our electric hookup point. Well, that's where I'm going to put it. It's kind of out of the way between the two driving seats. The cable comes out the back, as you can see just there, runs around the back here, through the window, which of course I'll close later, and is then plugged in to the electric hookup. So let's turn it on. And you can see it says 100% there, and it's going to last for 99 hours. Now the on button for the AC is at the back, so let me just press that. So it says it's drawing 180 watts, which means that we got 10 hours of usage on this. That little light there says the fridge is on, and I might turn it down. Just turn the fridge down, that might change the wattage. In fact, it's now turned off, so just turn it back up to 3, and we now got 56 hours and it's not taken any power. I think what that means is the fridge obviously turns on and off most of the time, and that's why it's not drawing any power at the moment. But the fridge is on electric, so that's good. This switch just here is the immersion heater, so if I turn that on, a little light comes on, which is great, and that means that our water is going to be constantly heated on electric all the time. But looking at the watts now, look at that, 470 watts are being drawn, and it's going to last 4 hours. That's drawing a lot of power, but of course when the water gets to temperature, it's going to switch off. It's going to be switching on and off all the way through the day. So might actually turn that off because it's not really that necessary. One thing I do want to bear in mind though is that the charger unit in our motorhome is 25 years old. It is not a smart charger, and I believe that it constantly charges the leisure battery, which if it was a lithium leisure battery then we would have a problem. In fact, we'd probably have a fire. But I imagined, and it's not actually happening, I imagined that the charger of the motorhome would actually be drawing power from the Delta 2 Max all the time to charge the leisure battery, but that doesn't seem to be happening. So I'm going to turn off the immersion heater because that's just going to kill the battery, I think. What we tend to do is heat the water with gas anyway, if we're not hooked up to electric, especially in the morning because that's when we have our showers. In the evening we might turn it on to do the washing up, but also if there's not a lot of washing up, we'll just boil a kettle. So it says we've got 60 hours remaining, which that's actually going to cover our whole weekend, which is great, but it doesn't seem to be drawing anything at the moment. It says 0 watts. Well, we're currently using the kettle at the moment, which is working fine, but it's taking 2000 watts, and at the current rate we've only got 38 minutes left, but the battery is still 76% charged. Well, the kettle has stopped boiling. We're back down to 138 watts and 9 hours left of the battery, and this is probably because of the fridge is being opened and closed, and therefore it's trying to cool down again. It's now the following morning, and it actually ran out of juice around about 9-10 o'clock last night, so we got about 11 or 12 hours of it charging the motorhome, which, I mean, yes, okay, so that's not the whole day, it's not 24 hours. And it was the fridge, I think, that was taking up all the power. So it does work, definitely. I mean, we boiled the kettle, I had my toothbrush charging off of it as well, and charging a couple of phones. So it did do the job, it just didn't last as long as I was hoping for. But it lasts as long as I was expecting. So it's a great idea to actually use it as a backup, if you like, as long as you're not powering things like the fridge and heaters and stuff. So having it plugged in, you can use your hairdryer, the kettle, tongs, all that kind of stuff. But I mean, you can probably plug all that into it anyway. But it will keep your leisure batteries topped up too. Now, if we didn't have the fridge turned on, I don't know how long it would have lasted. But yeah, it's a great bit of kit, and it actually does fit in our motorhome just about. Of course, there are alternatives to using a power station, such as getting lithium batteries for your motorhome. They are expensive still, but they're still cheaper than one of those. If you got, you know, they're about £1,000 each, a leisure battery, I do believe. Now, if you did use if you did improve your leisure batteries, that's brilliant. We can't do that. Our charger is not smart enough to actually understand or charge even a lithium or even gel battery. But the other thing is, if you are able to get lithium, then the problem with that is it's not portable. And with one of these power stations, you can actually take it outside and use it away from your motorhome. So that's a big benefit. But there's pros and cons for both. So if this video has helped you, then why not give it a thumbs up? And if it's earned it, then you could probably subscribe as well. Yeah, so that's it, the end of the video. So thanks very much for watching, and goodbye.